So, and this is from Darren Ravel a couple of days ago, and it caught my attention because we do like to talk about the whole Boston championship thing. So, a child born in the fall of 1984 saw one championship, the '86 Celtics, before their 18th birthday. A child that was born in fall of 2004 has seen 11 before their 18th birthday. The good news is they're not seeing 12. Am I obsessing? Am I obsessing over this?
They're spoiled.
The Stanley Cup final got an outstanding rating. An outstanding rating. And I wonder, is it because Boston's a fairly big market, St. Louis is a big sports market, or is it the rest of the country
hates Boston? Yes.
Love watching them lose.
Thanks for saying it for me.
What's your New Yorkers here? Come on.
But it really has been a remarkable run. But however, this game was incredible. Early on, the saves by rookie goalie Jordan Bennington was spectacular. And that's our Lexus Hot Topics. There it is, the Stanley Cup, the most beautiful trophy in the history of sports. No offense to soccer and the World Cup, but that's a true cup. And the celebration, by the way, on the road for a Game 7, if you think about it, most sports, home ice, home field, home court, usually matters. Yeah. Home ice in hockey does not seem to matter. Do you guys find that remarkable?
Why, though?
But why?
Yeah, why?
Because I think the hot goalie is greater than the loud crowd. That's number one. Number two, you could also argue that there's a little more tenseness that are in players when you're at home in a do-or-die game and you give up the first goal.
Because of the pressure of your home
The
crowd?
whole crowd gets tense because it's like, all right, we're already down one, and there's a tenseness, and the players feel it. I've had many players tell me this. Yeah. And the way the Bruins came out and they attacked early, and Bennington was incredible. As they say, standing on his head, not literally, but it felt like it at times. And he made some incredible saves early. It kept the Bruins off the board. And you just knew, you could feel it. The Blues were going to score the next deflection goal. And that's exactly what happened. And then they score a goal late in the first period to make it 2-0. The air is sucked out of the building, and now you're chasing the rest of the game.
So it's really, it's the hot goalie as opposed to that huge hometown push. In some sports,
how about this?
It's quite huge. You can't help but feel it in football, and I mean soccer.
Oh, because football,
there's less scoring.
Yeah,
but
there's more time. It's more stop and go.
Yes.
So there's lots of time to involve the crowd, et cetera, et cetera. But is it really that this goalie just has because you have the emotion, as you guys know. Early at home, you got the crowd rocking, you've got all this extra energy, and you're spending all of it, and you can't score.
And the goalie's stomping all that.
And now you're like, my God, we've given all we've got. We can't score.
What's the comparable position in sports, though? Like the
Pitcher.
experience? Okay, all right.
I was going to mention that to you, like Fernando, because John, you're at the Garden, the place is rocking. You're jumping over everybody and just dunking on people. You're at the Carrier Dome, you're just dunking on people because it's so loud.
Plus, I can jump high.
Well, you have that.
Chill out.
Draft night, we'll discuss what the strengths and weaknesses are. But Fernando, you can relate to the fact that I think in baseball, momentum doesn't really work for you because you don't want it. You can't try harder in baseball. You just focus more. Yeah. But how do you focus when you're just so jacked up? And if there's a great pitcher, no matter where he is, if he shuts you down.
Yeah.
But that's why baseball's the hardest sport to me, because of that kind of pressure, I think.
Yes, and you know who you can trust for that? Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders. They both played football and baseball, and what did they say? The hardest sport ever to play, baseball.
Because you need
Believe
to
it or not,
poised,
friends.
right?
Challenge.
I mean, that's
right.
challenging.
It's more just the stop-and-go traffic of a game, and 162 games in about 180 days. There is nothing like it. I mean, comparable schedules, of course, the NBA and hockey, quite comparable, right?
Well, you mean as far as the journey of a season?
Yes, number of games, days off, etc.
But the psychic of a baseball player is what's really the strongest, I think, in all sports, because you have to be really successful at being unsuccessful.
Yes.
Because you're batting 300, you're doing really good. That means 7 out of 10 times you're not getting it.
You're being very charitable.
If you miss 7 out of 10 shots from the field, I'm taking you out of the game. Like, you're coming out.
Sit down.
Yeah,
sit
that
down.
part of it is, baseball from a mental standpoint is definitely the toughest sport, I think.
Yeah, the one thing we can all agree, though, in sports, there's always those great stories. There's always those stories connected to teams, no matter what it is. And the Blues certainly they've had several. They were last place team. But their story here is this 11-year-old girl, Layla Anderson. She's suffering from an autoimmune disease. She developed a relationship with Blues defenseman Colton Parayko. You see him right there. He brought her the Stanley Cup. The Blues flew her up to Boston for Game 7.
Yes.
Look at her crying.
Fantastic.
She's so emotional. She's there. She's been with this team the whole season. He brings her the cup. He tells her, go ahead, kiss it. Go ahead. That's what you're supposed to do. For her in this experience,
That's
it's
incredible.
heartwarming.
But this is what athletes
but you see
love.
these a lot. Yes.
They love this. I mean, you'll talk to any athlete. I mean, we all played a sport, but a lot of professional athletes will, during the holidays, they go visit hospitals.
Yeah.
That's where they feel the most satisfaction
Absolutely.
because these people don't even necessarily know them, but just knowing that a professional athlete is there like that, I mean, supporting them.
That's why
this
sports
girl
is so
knows him
powerful.
personally.
Sports are awesome. And in that moment, Layla is obviously the envy of every kid for the opportunity to be that close to the cup. But even yesterday, Marty was on, and he was talking about what he does with his charity events. And so I think the fact that athletes can step back from all of their success and all the praise and put it in perspective, especially when it comes to the health of a child, like that is incredible.
You're right,
That was
and you
just the
actually
icing on the cake.
you need it actually because in the dredges of a long season, you need these little bumps of extra incentive to do things. Like you need
It's inspiring.
that. Yeah,
Yep.
It's really fascinating if you know players and you know who's at the game. So many times I would see on the pass list somebody's marked, I've got all of my relatives from Missouri coming, my cousin, all these people, and then you look at what that guy does. Like that guy's going 2 for 4 with some ribbies. Like it's just tends to happen. You need that extra incentive. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well,
It's a cool story.
We do have some Stanley Cup history here. We will have Mike Richter a little bit later on in the show speaking of Stanley Cup, but also our good friend Butch Goring, who won 4 straight Stanley Cups with the New York Islanders back in the 80s. Am I the only one that was around to see that, by the way, on this panel? There's Butchie right there, a Conn Smythe winner for MVP in the finals. His daughter Kelly right there in the Stanley Cup. I think she's a little taller than the cup now, but at the time,
That's an adorable
That's a cute picture,
I do have to take a moment just to represent my hometown. I have not experienced 11 titles, but I did get to experience the Capitals parade last year when the Stanley Cup came to DC. Again,
please don't quote Ovechkin.
I'm not-
We cannot say that on the air.
but to your point about home ice, I mean, the Caps also took care of business in Vegas. And it was
Yes.
the coolest thing after the fact when they were literally walking through the hotel with the cup, having a blast. So, enjoy that, St. Louis. There was nothing quite
And it
like
means a
the
lot
Caps
for them.
parade.
50 years.
Yeah.
It took them
Yeah.
50 years from when they became a franchise, the original expansion. It's the longest wait for a team to win a Stanley Cup, so it was great for St. Louis. And
That's why there were so many viewers, right?
yeah, maybe, but
Possibly
even
too.
better that it wasn't. Anyway, moving on. Will it be Toronto tonight in Game 6? Can they win on the road? That's something also to think about. Can they win on the road, close out Oracle, and win an NBA championship the first time a Canadian team wins an NBA title?
Tonight, they're not going
Against
to
the
win.
Warriors.
I don't think.
Why?
Because it's the last
Get
time
her,
the
Fernando.
Oracles-
Get her.
Oh, here we go.
Excuse me, it's the last
Are we going to
time-
face off here? Are we going to face off?
The last time the Warriors are in Oracle Arena, they have so much emotion right now. The fans are already flooding. They were flooding the arena at 6 a.m. this morning. And with Kevin Durant out like this, they're playing for Kevin. I mean, if it's the brotherhood they say it is.
Alan was just talking about the
with you.
goaltender.
It's gonna be
Kawhi
tough.
Leonard's the goaltender.
Oh.
Right. But listen, I'm
claw
not saying
is
they're
the
not going to win
goaltender.
at all. You mean to tell me, though, John, that they're not going to win one home game in this series?
I'm just telling you,
There's no
Toronto's
way.
the better team. They've been
They
the better
are.
team.
I agree.
with the
Right
ghost
now.
of Kevin Durant's
Like
Achilles
tonight.
looming over all of
That's
this.
not going to
Tonight,
happen.
the
That's what you're
Warriors
saying.
got
Those
this.
baskets. I'm telling you right now, Toronto's coming in there on a mission, trying to end this tonight. Not letting it get to the Game 7. And so I think Kawhi's gonna come in with a determined focus tonight.
Even more than we've already seen.
Yeah, like Kawhi's a proven champion, right? His mindset's gonna come in right from the start. I think he's gonna be in
If he
an
does that,
assassin mode.
he is next level. Much respect if Kawhi can do that.
I think that's gonna happen.
For more great videos from the MSG 150, check out right there. And remember, our show is on Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10:30 p.m. on MSG Network and MSG Go.